Hello everyone, thanks for tuning back in. Big announcement today. I'm going to premiere this one, and not sure where it's going, but I'm just going to give you it right now because my audience retention tells me everybody watches the first like 3 or 4 minutes. As of right now, I am still going to make ham radio videos. However, I am not going to focus anymore exclusively on amateur radio. I think I've done enough in this hobby, and you've reached your cap. You know, YouTube's already hit its peak; it's already on its way down. Somebody, if you're a Floridian, or actually not a Floridian, if you're familiar with the Love Doctors, 20-something years, WZZR, Dr. Rich and Dr. Glenn, had nothing to do with love. It was a caller-driven talk show in West Palm Beach and Treasure Coast of Florida. He always said, if you want something to keep going, you gotta make changes. Now, he was the one that was against making changes, right? So when they started this, it was all caller-driven talk. I mean, I know the guys. I have Dano's phone number. I've met Dr. Rich and Dr. Glenn. I've talked to them. Lexus, well, forget her. But anyways, you know, actually, by the way, Dano's going to be on my podcast soon, believe it or not. Podcast, search it, HamRadioConcepts podcast. I got Dano's phone number. We've been talking. We're going to get on the podcast. But if you want to make something continue on, you can't stay the same. Now, Dr. Rich was against this because when they started the show in, the 90s, early 90s, it was, caller-driven. People had to call from payphones and house phones. And then progress on, you get to social media, you get, webcams, you get stuff like this, and he was all against, I don't want a webcam, I don't want people seeing me. Well, you got to do this for social media in order to progress your audience, to get people to keep wanting to watch, right? And he was against it, but he went for it, but eventually, Clear Channel was bought up by HamRadio and blah, blah, blah. And the long story short is, I have more that I want to express on YouTube other than ham radio for some company like AC or ICOM to show people whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, for instance, I can't monetize this video, but I can show you how I'm progressing on my half-built, AR-15 Space Gat 22 caliber, 3D printed gun. They got a 3D printer right there. Can't monetize that video, but I could also show you about something like preppers. I have a wall full of prepper stuff from 25-year shelf life survival food to boiling water out in the sun. You're going to see these videos, unfortunately, next couple days. Liberty Band tactical solar radio with a hand crank. I mean, all kinds of stuff. As of this video, I will never ever, I hope I can remember this, I'll never ever say, hey, this is Eric this is Eric KJ4YZ at HamRadioConcepts. No, we're done with that. I think we need to move on. So where is my channel name going? I'm not sure. I thought about HamRadioConcepts and more. I thought about just changing it to KJ4YZI. There's 50 cups out there that say HamRadioConcepts. I only made 50 of these. There are people out there that bought a shirt just to support me that don't care. They mopped up the oil in the driveway and they're changing their oil. That's fine. What means the most to me is the fact that there are people out there watching that are just human beings. YouTube has become a machine. YouTube has tried to tell me that you need to do this and that. I won't do it. Nobody ever told me. I will tell you right now, I have never, ever been told by a company to say this and say that, we'll send you a radio. Never. Companies have sent me radios and they've said, hey, let us know what you think. You're going to see videos on these companies. But you know what? That's not a ham radio, Eric. I'm unsubscribing. Goodbye. Plain and simple. I think I'm limiting myself to my creative juices that are flowing. I got 19 things I can make videos on. I got a video coming up with the solar kettle outside. How to there's people out there that want to know how to boil water in the sun. I boiled water in the sun at 6 o'clock in the evening in October in Florida, where it was 78 degrees, 81 degrees outside. I boiled water. You want to know how to see that without electric and gas? Well, tune in. Is it ham radio related? No, it's not. You want to see about the survival food? You want to see about CB radio? Because all the people that are hams have always commented, that's not ham radio. You're HamRadioConcepts. I'm unsubscribing. Goodbye. This is what I've called thinning the herd. I haven't told you this for years. Thinning the herd means I don't care how many subscribers I have. People have been inundating me with emails and comments on Facebook. Where have you been? Have you noticed I haven't made a video in the entire month of October? It's October 23rd. Couldn't remember the date. I haven't made one video yet. This is the first video in October. Why? Because I'm in a funk. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff I could teach you guys, and I just like being out there. I've already swore I'll never make a booth again in Ham Radio Hamfest ever. You'll never see me at a booth at Hamfest. Although, well, I won't say that. I have great sponsors. HamRadioPrep. This is another video coming up. HamRadioPrep, and the reason this book is coming up in a video is because people actually told me I'm not, you keep pushing this Ham Radio Prep company as your sponsor. I'm not an internet person. I want to read my book. Well, they listened. They made a book. We're talking about that. But Ham Radio Prep, maybe they come to a Hamfest and I can join with them and just thank people for getting into the ham radio hobby. Am I going to ever make a HamRadioConcepts booth again? Nope. Done. Didn't do it this year. Won't do it next year. Will I be going to Dayton? No. Why? Because I make videos at Hamfest promoting people like ICOM, Yaesu, and all these companies to make millions of dollars because I show their stuff on YouTube because you don't watch it and you're looking for that video to give you persuasion on what to buy. I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm calling it quits. I will still make videos on YouTube for Ham Radio, but what I want to make, not what you want to watch. And that's the hard part because a lot of you are going to disappear. That's fine. I bid you farewell. Goodbye. The people that have stuck with me over the years, I know who your YouTube channels are. I know your emails. I've responded to you on Facebook. I know what you're doing. I know you support me. If you want me to make a video comparing this and this and what you should buy, I'm sorry, I will never do it again. I can't. I'm sorry. I have too much, I'm a chef. There's YouTube channels on about solar. I tried to make another YouTube channel that's out there. I'm going to start putting all those videos on this YouTube channel because nobody wanted to watch. A lot of those people were transplants. How do you do solar? How did you run a solar RV, Eric? How did you run your air conditioner in the middle of a Walmart parking lot? Well, I did it. Unfortunately, YouTube has already passed its peak. It is on the way down, and you'll never be able to create a YouTube channel at this day and age. It doesn't work anymore. So I encourage everybody to make a YouTube channel. Unfortunately, I'm just going to take those YouTube videos and put them on here. Because I thought, if I make a video on a weather station, people are going to yell at me. And they have. Oh, man. You're not a YouTube creator if you're watching. You may be, you may not be. But people yell at you and they're like, this isn't a comparison or a review. I am not going to watch if you make one more video like that. Goodbye. So long. I don't care. I don't care. The weather, Tempest Weather Flow weather station is great. Every ham radio operator in the world talks about weather. Am I allowed to make a weather station video? Nope. Why? Because that person said I'm not. Because I'm some... Listen, this came from your favorite YouTube... There's YouTube channels out there for ham radio. And one of your favorite YouTube channel has said, you sound nothing more than a used car salesman. Well, you won't see that anymore. I'm sorry. I'm going to wrap up what I have here. But understand, nobody ever told me to say something, and I would. You want to know why I never made a video on this? Why it's sitting here? Because they sent it to me to say, hey, tell us how this, and this. Well, okay. They didn't tell me what to say. They wanted me to say things. I wouldn't do it. I took a free radio, and half of the other ones that showed up, I gave away. People. But the bottom line is this. I'm going to show you something as an educational purpose of this. Because, so first I've announced it. I'm no longer exclusively focusing on ham radio. All right. There's way more I could show. 3D printing. I'm a chef. I mean, I made a generator video about that little Wen i2350. How many emails do you think I got from that? Oh, it's a, you know, I know, I get it. We use it at Ham Fest, but a ham field day. But you know, you're off your, you're in bad form, Eric. That was a comment. You're in bad form. In fact, that was one of your other favorite YouTubers. You're in bad form. You offer nothing to this hobby making videos like this. We don't want to keep watching you. Well, goodbye. I don't care. I don't care. This is not my full-time job. This is something I've encountered over my years that I love doing. It took me a lot of times of borrowing gear from companies and to talk with people like Icom and Yasu in order to build an audience. I got the audience now. Now I'm going to show you what's worthwhile watching on YouTube, because YouTube wasn't designed to be a sales pitch. YouTube wasn't designed to be a niche product. YouTube is your creativity expressed across the world. Why am I focused? I could have made a video on this blue Yeti Blue. Did I? No. Why? Because it's not a ham radio device. Do I want to still make YouTube videos on ham radio? Absolutely. But I'm not going to do, once I wrap up what's here, I'm not doing any more product reviews. I mean, I'm going to, maybe if I can afford it, buy stuff, or if someone wants to send me something, fine. I've already told you, I was honest with you, this company has sent me this. Gigaparts let me borrow this. Gigaparts had sent me this. This company had sent me this, or I purchased this. But it's not fair for me to try to be the Fox News of YouTube. It's not fair to you to try to watch me as the Fox News. Who the hell am I? You know, all I've thought about was you watch YouTube. This is what I do. I mean, if I could find and watch this. All right. What's this? Watch. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how this. Okay. There you go. This is a main board. I haven't even opened it yet for my 3D printer. Now, do you think I watched on YouTube how to replace this main board and that 3D printer? Of course I did. Of course I did. I watched 4, 5, 6, 7 people's videos on what's wrong, what makes this one better than the one it came with, blah, blah, blah. That's what YouTube's about. If you think that YouTube, have I ever told you to only watch me? No. There's great YouTube channels out there. Let me name a couple. HamRadio 2.0, Jason Johnson, KC5HWB, great YouTube channel. Subscribe to him because he has up-to-date information that I've never provided, never tried to compete. Josh, KI6NAZ, Ham Radio Crash Course. He's all over the place. He's got ham radio, he's got survival, prepper. So why can't I do prepper and survival stuff? Josh is he's very smart, way smarter than I'll ever be. Big engineer out there in California, space program, whatever. Great guy. Met him many times. Focuses with Yasu, loves Yasu, has some icon stuff. I want to do more than that. You see what I just showed you? That is my statement here. And in doing so, now that I've premiered this and you people are chatting, I'm going to try to watch. I'm hoping I'm watching this chat right now. But I want to tell you this. So you know what my wife said tonight when I said, I'm going to make this video. It's not going to go well. This and that. But you know, she said, you should have done this a long time ago. Why? Well, she's right all the time, I mean, there's so many things I'm versed in, man. I mean, a lot of stuff. And I'm held back on this YouTube thing because YouTube's telling the YouTube creators, do this, do that, make this thumbnail, and string them along because we want as many ads to play as possible. I've never done that, and I won't do it. I just want, when I make the video about my gun, I will demonetize the video. If I hit 1 million subscribers, I will demonetize my channel. I'll never make $1 on the channel again. I just want people to watch and appreciate what I'm doing. That's all this is about. If you relate to that or agree with that, you have the power to leave the comment below. And understand this, leaving a comment gives me engagement and analytics. So if you don't want me to succeed, don't leave the comment. If you click thumbs down, you're making me succeed. Thumbs up or thumbs down both count as analytics, as engagement. That means you watched the video and you had an opinion and you wanted YouTube to know about it. If you want somebody to not succeed, don't click anything. Hit back and never watch again. If you don't like what I'm saying today, the way you can hurt me, just hit back. Don't do anything. Don't tell me to F off. Don't tell me I suck. Please hurt me and just hit back. Unsubscribe, never watch again. That's how that works. It's called thinning the herd. When I made that antenna TV video, I made that because I had a very big passion. I mean, it was funny as my neighbor down the road, I won't mention his name, called me today. Hey, I'm watching this Tampa game. It's blacked out, but could you get it on your antenna? Oh, all of a sudden it's fun to learn about antenna TV, which is now 34,000 views this month. I mean, that's millions of views on that video. What was the tens of thousands of emails and comments? This is not ham radio. I'm not watching anymore because this video is not a ham radio video. It's about TV. Well, I had fun making it. I made that video in this house 5 years ago. You want to learn something? Watch it. You don't? Never watch again. That's how that works. And that's going to grow a stronger audience. So let me show you something real quick, okay? And I'm gonna switch to a website called Social Blade. Now, Social Blade is a way where you could look at your favorite YouTubers and you could look at what they make, how much money they make. Everybody's asking me, you want me to tell you? Keep watching. That's what YouTube tells me to do. String them along, right? How many subscribers they have, what the views are of the day, you know. But I'm going to show you, because if you don't know and you want to see proof, I'll show you my channel, and then you can look at any other YouTube channel in the world, Mr. Beast and PewDiePie, and see exactly what they're doing. Now, Mr. Beast may only have 30-something more videos than I have, but he's got hundreds of millions of subscribers more than me. That's okay. He makes millions a month. It's okay. It's okay. That's his thing. But I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm me. So let's switch to Social Blade. And I just want to show you something, because you as a YouTube viewer need to understand how this site works and what you can do with it, and understand how the YouTube machine works. It's a machine. Shout out to all my people on YouTube who make videos and tell you, this is how you capitalize your audience. You got to do this. Never done it. That's why I'm not popular. I'm mediocre at best, because I'm not going to do what someone tells me to do. And that is the only thing I've ever promised you. I've never lied to you. I have never lied to you. I have gotten stuff for free. I have bought stuff, and I have said what I wanted to say. Some people always said, why do you never have negative videos? Because if it was negative, it never made a YouTube video. See how that worked? If it was positive, it was on my video. Do you understand how that works? All this relates around, how do I figure out how to make this ham radio so people don't yell at me? Done with that. Let me show you Social Blade, and then we'll wrap this up. And guess what? Starting tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of videos that are not ham radio related, but I can tell you every ham radio person that watches those videos will be totally down with what I got to show you. And if you're not, well, I'm going to say this, then you're not a real ham radio operator. You're an appliance operator. Because if you don't like technology, why are you in ham radio? Is it because you found somebody's channel and you just want to be there, but I'm never going to touch that radio in case I need it? Unfortunately, other than that, I'm just going to sit on the couch, pet the dog. Well, no. All the people that watch my channel are techie people. You want to see techie? Let me show you other techie instead of a review on an ICOM radio, please. That would mean a lot to me. Let me show you this real quick. Okay, if you go to the website, which is in the link of the description, you type in socialblade.com. Now, Social Blade will give you analytics easily on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. Get a deeper understanding of user growth and trends by utilizing Social Blade. And this is for your own benefit as well if you want to see what's going on, right? So up here, we're going to search my YouTube channel name, HamRadioConcepts. Okay? Now, if you're dying to know, I'm going to give you some stats here. So, I have 649 uploads. All right? I've made 649 videos since 2009. 13 years ago, I started this channel. So we've already passed our 13th birthday. Wow. Out of those 649 uploads, 22,474,304 views. Now that's nothing in YouTube land. This 22 million is, I mean, I might have blinked more than that in the last 2 years. I mean, that's nothing, right? If you look, it gives you a grade, you know, country rank, 1860th rank. It's basically taking the analytics and showing you what your YouTube channel is doing and across the United States, you know, or country. And if you go down here, because people are wanting to know, I mean, you can go to YouTube and type in, how much does HamRadioConcepts make? He's got it pretty much under control. He made a video on what I make on YouTube a year. I've never met the guy, don't know who he is. He's made it, but it doesn't matter. I encourage that. So I'm going to give you a synopsis here. So this right here is the least you've made to the most you've made, and it averages based on, you know, a monthly trend. Right now, we're looking at like $600-700 a month. Okay, and that's about, you know, $7,000-8,000 a year, right? I'm gonna tell you that in like 2017, 2018, I made about $52,000 in 1 year on YouTube. That was when YouTube was at its peak before COVID. That was when you should have had a YouTube channel. Unfortunately, you'll never see that again. It's gone. All right, so YouTube is basically, you know, on its way out. All right, so the video views for the last 30 days, 242,000. That used to be 750,000 a month, you know. So that's the changes. And if you look down here, right, YouTube stats. So if you look at like the 10th, that's, you know, 8,138 views that day and how much I made. So if you want to get an estimate, a little more than half of this is usually accurate. So I'm going to say $20, $22 I made that day. And then you look here, like 10/16, well, YouTube tells me I made nothing that day. Well, unfortunately, I did. But YouTube wants to say I didn't, okay? And that's just the way YouTube works. So, you know, you can't battle YouTube because they're, you know, going to do what they want. You know, this is today, and today, so I've only, it hasn't calculated today yet. But the daily average is $2 to $32 a day. The weekly average is 14 and 226. So I'm going to say that weekly average is about 200 because it's 175, 200. That's about 800 a month. And then last 30 days. So that's about accurate when you go just above 50% of what you see from here to here. All right. Now, if you go up here and you go to future projections, this is what's funny because future projections, when I made $52,000 that 1 year, and of course that all went to credit and bills. So no, I am not living a high on the hog. Okay. It's telling me in 2 months I'm only going to have 100 or 1,000 more subscribers, right? 4,000 400,000 more views by next year, right? And if you look at this, if you go to 5 years from now, I'm only going to have 355,000 subscribers, which is 92 million views. Well, that's fine. I remember several years ago when the future prediction said I was going to be 6 million subscribers. It doesn't mean anything to me. You can look at the trend here, and the trend is terrible because I haven't made any videos recently. I mean, I don't focus on this anymore because I am locked to how can I make an interesting ham radio video for someone to see? Well, I got news for you. There's videos all over my room right now on capturing an audience, not to make money, but in order to have someone watching something. I don't care about what this says. I'm just showing you this because let's give you an example here. Mr. Beast. You ever heard of Mr. Beast? He's like the second in the United States in subscribers. Now look at this. You want to know who really makes money on YouTube? Here you go. Look at this. You ever thought of making, let's call this $800,000 a month on YouTube? You don't have to work. You ever thought about making $8 million? Let's be realistic with this number. Yearly, $1 million to $15 million. Let's call it $3 million. Let's go way low. You ever thought about making $3 million a year on YouTube? I will never do that. And especially on Ham Radio, because I've already had an audience. The audience is already there. All I'm trying to do is capture more people on different avenues of interest and bring them into Ham Radio. Because I'm not after this number. I'm after the hobby. Because when it all comes down to it, that's why I've done this video channel. Yes, I did have a little bit of money in mind. Yes, I thought, wow, I should be paid for some work I do, and it wasn't from anybody like HamRadio. They've never paid me. You know, it's just the fact that, you know, when you work hard, you make money. That's the bottom line. If you got something to say about that, leave a comment, because I've never once asked anybody for money in order to make a video. Has not ever happened. Period. The end. So consider that when you watch your favorite YouTuber, like Mr. Beast here, he doesn't ask people for money. This guy gives away millions of dollars. Mr. Beast, you're a man if you comment on my channel for the publicity I've given you right now. Okay? This guy is awesome. He buys people cars. Hey, I'm going to buy every car on this car lot and I'm going to give them all away. That's what this guy does. I'm not doing that. But this is how this guy has made it successful. And I appreciate everything this guy has done, okay, for buying the homeless guy a $1 million Lamborghini and saying, here you go, here's yours. You know what I mean? That's what he does. But if you look at this is socialblade.com. The link is in the description. I wanted you to see this so that you can understand how YouTube works. Now, find your YouTube channel and look at it and see what YouTube says or Social Blade says about your YouTube channel. And if you're trying to make a YouTube channel now, it's not going to happen as easy as when I did it, okay? Unfortunately. I made mine, the very first video was a Baofeng UV5R, and I got 2 of them in a box by accident, and I said, hey, I could send you one back. You made a mistake and sent me 2. And the guy in China said, no, just keep it. It's our mistake. I said, how about I make a video on it, and I'll show people about it in return to keep the second one. He said, okay. That's how my YouTube channel started, was because I decided to try to give back to someone that made an accident. I had no idea China was going to flood the market with UV5Rs. I had no idea China was going to be a big game in this ham radio. I had no idea UV5Rs were going to be a staple in ham radio in 2009. Okay? That was just something I thought that I would do to be generous instead of saying, well, you made the mistake, guy. I'm going to put it on eBay. No, didn't work that way. And look what's happened. It didn't happen for Mr. Beast. I mean, it didn't happen for me like it did Mr. Beast, but you get the idea. That's all I wanted to show you. Instead of me ranting and what some people are going to comment, oh, you sound like you're crying. Nope. I just want to give you an educational moment right here on my channel. Okay, so now that you saw the Social Blade, let's watch on how many people unsubscribe. And here's the challenge. If I lose 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 or 12, I'm going to call it this. I'm going to lose 20,000 subscribers from this post, but I'm going to gain 100 more in the next year. 100,000 more the next year. Again, I'm not worried about subscribers. But unfortunately, if you're not a subscriber, you don't get alerted when I make videos. And that's sad because I put a lot of time into these videos. And everybody hits me up. Why are you still in the RV? Guys, I haven't lived in the RV in a year and a half. Where have you been? You're not subscribed. You saw the analytics. Those people that watched me because they type it in. But they're not alerted because YouTube says if you're not a big person, popular, you're on the low of the totem pole. And is that fair? No. But the people that did subscribe and did follow and did comment, thumbs up, guys. So here it comes, chapter 2. Let's figure out what the next name of my YouTube channel is going to be. Won't announce that yet. But hey, if you don't like it, well,